Hello guys, today I'd like to show you how to install a bike rack from Topeak onto a large mountain bike in this example. I've got here this Trek Marlin 7. It is a large mountain bike with 29-inch tires. So I really need a bike rack that can extend out far enough to fit. Now the first step to do with this particular rack is to extend these feet here as far as they go. What you do next then is you got to mock it up. So you got to see where the threaded screws are. And when you put that foot where it's supposed to go, you got to make sure that you got enough clearance up here in between the top of the tire and the bottom of that plate. Let's get that mounted. And then the next step is going to be to attach this bar here. There's going to be two of these stainless steel bars, and they have to get attached here with a couple of screws, and they're going to get attached here to this threaded hole here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just tighten up our two legs here. And you see that they give you these lock nuts, so that's good for everything to stay nice and tight in place so that nothing vibrates out of place. These are little 4mm heads on the outside. Tighten that up. I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. Okay, now this part has been extended as far as it goes, and it does feel, although it's just one screw, it does feel like it's going to be able to withstand that vertical force pretty well because it's in a groove. If you can see here, this whole thing is inside a groove, so it's got surface area holding it here into place as well as the screw. Now in the kit, they give you a whole bunch of screws, and some of these screws are to be to attach these brackets here, and the other screws are to attach the legs of this to the bike. So let's just go ahead and do that. I got two possibilities here where I can mount it, so I'm just going to choose one of these tapped holes. I'm going to take this screw here and feed it here through the foot of the bike rack. It might actually make more sense to screw this in ahead of time because sometimes on these new bikes there's still paint, so we have to get rid of the paint on the threads. Yeah, now it's going in nice and fine. Now I can go ahead and attach. I'm going to do this on both sides though. All right, now let's go ahead and mount the rack here to the bottom. Now something to mention about this particular bike rack is that it's so wide. You can see here how wide that thing is across, and that is exactly to accommodate here this disc brake right there. So that's the reason that this is so long. And we've almost got this bottom part mounted, and then we can attach the top part. Now you can see we've got probably a good 1.5 inches of clearance, which is important because you're going to be kind of bouncing around a little bit. You're going to have weight on here too. You want that to be a bit further away there. And you may also want a little space to put a mud guard in there. The next thing that we have to do is attach these guys like this to those two holes. And then we're going to have to bend it down to attach there. All right, so to attach these brackets here, what you got to do is put a bolt through there, and you put a washer on both sides of the bolt. So I've got that one set up right there. Just going to slide that through there, and then on the bottom side we're going to put a washer and a nut, just like that. That's the configuration. We need two of these on each side. I'm just going to tighten that up and we'll be good to go. I'm going to do the other side as well, and then we'll come back and we're going to bend these down to attach to here. Okay, so I've got this one here attached with two bolts, but what happens then when I bend this bracket down is that I'm at quite an angle there. That's more than 2 or 3 degrees. And it says here in the directions that you should only get up to about 2 or 3 degrees of an angle. So what I did is just attach this one with the last bolt there. And if I mock that up like that, then I would say I'm closer to about 2 or 3 degrees. That's going to be as large as we can make this thing for my humongous bike. Okay, the next step then is to remove whatever cap you had covering up this threaded screw here, and now we're going to attach this bracket with this provided screw and washer, therefore stabilize our bike rack. It's a little bit hard to get started because there is some pressure on that bracket, but once you get the screw started, you're good to go. I'm gonna do the other side and then we'll give it one final look. All right, so this is the finished product. That's what it looks like at the end. And what I did end up doing is mounting 2 of these screws again. I was able to shift this whole thing down a little bit so that I got the grip of 2 screws, because I still do have a good inch or so of clearance up there. That's what it looks like. Here, these brackets look kind of cool. Actually, these stainless steel brackets are kind of like arched. That's kind of neat. I do have to say it's a bit of a tight fit because it's a humongous 29-inch wheel bike, but I'm really looking forward to being able to just put this rack on there just like that, so I can put stuff in there. With that rack, I can put a gallon of milk in there. I can put groceries, my backpack, all kinds of stuff. Glad to finally have a rack on this bike. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. It is a little bit of a job to do this, but I hope that the video has helped you and given you some confidence to do it yourself. Have a good one.